Good afternoon. This video is created for the Psychology of Literature class, and my group made this video to discuss about an analysis of Jungian archetype in Goddard's The Cabin in the Woods. And the members of this group are Kristi Septiani, me, myself, Timotheus Manuel, Mardiana Zay, Rosa Marie Melanie, and Yurisa Yulian Minar. So, The Cabin in the Woods is a horror movie directed by Drew Goddard in 2012. This movie tells about the 5 college students who want to have a vacation in the woods. They think that they have perfect holiday and then they choose one of the bizarre items in the cellar. They started to meet zombies and kill one of their friends. They finally realize that they are in a science facility that controls all the creatures to kill them to be sacrificed to the Ancient One. The 5 characters represent certain symbols to be sacrificed. Based on the movie The Cabin in the Woods, there are 5 different characters that represented archetypes. There are the virgin, the scholar, the whore, the fool, and the athlete. The ritual always stated that the virgin must choose how they will die. The whore always dies first in the ritual, and the virgin's optional. Their blood will be poured on the stone in the Ancient One and directly as a sacrifice for the god. And the researcher interested to analyze archetype inside the movie and find out about the meaning of the archetype. So according to Carl Jung, that mankind possesses a collective unconsciousness that contains these archetypes and that is common to all humanity. Jung also believed that existence of collective unconsciousness which is common to whole human race and contains universal archetypes. Archetypes are similar ideas, motives, images found in many different myths. So normally defined as universal symbols. For people, for example, the archetypes are images, the hero, the earth, the mother, the soulmate, and the trickster, motives or pattern, and genres. And these are the primordial of universal images revealed in dreams, artistic and literary productions, primitive religions, and mythologies. One of the most important archetype is the animus or anima. The animus is a woman archetypal image of man, and the anima is man's archetypal image of woman. The animus often appears of wise as the old man, and the anima as a virginal girl or mother goddess. Jung writes that in his book, Contributions to Analytical Psychology, writes that there are 3 basic qualities that characterize archetypes: primordial, universal, and recurrent. The most fundamental quality that characterizes archetypes that they are primordial. They are located within the human preconscious, that the area of the mind which information can be recalled. And the second fundamental quality of archetypes is that they are universal. They are unaffected by the time or situation, community, or culture. And the third fundamental quality of archetype is that they are recurrent. Those who have conducted research in the fields of anthropology, comparative religion, and mythology have tended to confirm similarities among people while demonstrating that what differences do exist attribute mostly to local adaptations.
Okay, thank you for the previous explanation, and now I will explain to you about Jung's life and how his theory develops until nowadays. And Jung was born in Switzerland, and he spends a lot of his time of life there. And his father was a minister, and Jung spent much of his childhood among the fields and hills in Switzerland. And when he was adult, he was a self-described introvert child who spent so much time with his own imagination. And when he was adult, he got married with a woman named Emma, and they can live with a very comfortable life. And about his theory, after Alfred Adler broke away from Freud, Jung was the next one anointed by Freud to carry on the psychoanalytic movement. But eventually Jung's differences from Freud became so pronounced that he too left to Freudian psychoanalytic circle. And along his life, Jung attracted so many followers and also students. Jung lived a long life and productive life. And he left a remarkable treasure of writing and a unique body of thought. Jung believed that a human being is in a worldly whole, but that most of us have lost touch with important parts of ourselves. And through the listening to the message of our dream and working imagination, we can contact and reintegrate our different parts. The goal of life is individuation, and the process of coming to know, giving expression to, and harmonizing the various components to the physics. If we realize our uniqueness, we can undertake the process of individuation and tap into our true self. Each human being has a specific nature and calling which is uniquely by his or her own, and unless they are fulfilled through the union of conscious and unconscious, and Jung stated that unconscious mind is the center of his interest in a set of transcendent time, making the unconscious an inner partner of our conscious self. Seemed to Jung that only way of healing the problem and splits that have long bedeviled humankind. And theoretically, he stated that no limit can be set to the field of consciousness, since it is capable to indefinite extension. And empirically, however, it always finds its limit when it comes up against the unknown. The unknown falls into two groups of objects, those which are inside and are experienced immediately. The first group comprises the unknown in the outer world, and the second the unknown in the inner world, and we call latter interiority of the unconscious. Okay, that's all about my explanation related to Carl Jung life and also his theory and its development. And now we will come to the another explanation. Thank you for your nice attention.
Hello everyone, my name is Yurika Yunara, and I would like to explain, in this next occasion, I would like to explain about the psychoanalytic theory from Carl Jung. Actually, the theory comes from Carl Jung is not as different with another psychoanalytics. But what makes Carl Jung different with others is because he has a theory we call as collective unconscious. Collective unconscious is a theory of psychoanalytic which Carl Jung believes that this theory is coming from the collective unconscious part of people's mind. For example, people would like to do something because of their past and also because of their experience in the past. That is why it collect to be one, and it would be appear in the people's actions in the future. And one of the theory coming from Carl Jung is archetype. Actually, the definitions of archetype is archetype is coming an image that derived from collective unconscious part of people's mind. But archetype is usually something which is unseen and also archaic, coming from people's experience. Carl Jung provides several theory in archetype. There are, for example, hero, myth, shadow, anima, animus, dream, and so on so far. Carl Jung believes that archetype part of people would be appear in the unconscious part of people. For example, through dreams, delusions, illusion, fantasy, and so on so far. One of the most important archetype coming from Jung is anima or an animus. Anima is woman's archetype image of woman. For example, a man, there are a part of woman which appear in a man, and animus is there are a part of man appear in the self of a man. That is why it's called as anima and animus. And in this analysis, we would like to analyze how archetype is appeared inside the character of the novel. And also, we would like to analyze whether the theory of archetype coming from Jung is in line with the character.
Okay, thank you for the chance and now I will continue the presentation, which is the analysis of one literary works from Drew Goddard in 2012 with the title The Cabin in the Wood. Like the previous presenter said, she already mentioned the definition of archetype and also types of archetypes and then the example of archetypes. And now I will try to correlate the movie and also one of the psychology theory, which is a Jungian archetype. Like the first presenter said that he already mentioned the definition, the summary of this movie. This movie actually is the movie that has a message about the ritual, the sacrifice of ritual that has a 5 different characters to achieve the successful ritual itself to the ancient one's god. And 5 different characters actually embodies certain characters in this movie, but I'm not going to analyze the characters based on this movie, but actually I'm going to analyze the character and also certain situation, then try to correlate it with one of the psychology theory, which is a Jungian archetype. The first characters that I will analyze is the Dana Polk. In this movie, Dana Polk represents or embodies certain character, which is the virgin. In this movie, the virgin's death is actually optional. She doesn't have to be dead or alive in order to achieve the successful ritual. But she can be alive and she can be dead as long as the other characters is dead. But in a Jungian archetype, Dana Polk itself embodies certain characters, which is Platonic Ideal. Platonic Ideal is a woman that described as a woman that more depend on her brain or also on her knowledge rather than her appearance. And then in a Jungian archetype, the Platonic idea itself described as a maiden, like the Dana Polk itself in this movie. She is the ideal types to be married, and she will be a good wife. And then the second character is Kurt Vaughan, or in this movie, in the Cabin in the Woods, he is embodied the character of athlete itself. But in the Jungian archetype, one of Jungian archetype theory, he is actually the hero. The hero will be dead and sacrifice himself to help the others, which is Kurt itself that to get help from his friends, I mean. And then he also embodies another archetype, which is one-sided lover. In one-sided lovers, that he will lose his lover or his girlfriend in a tragic death, like he loses Jules because she is dead. And then the third character is Jules Loudon, or in this movie she is embodied the character of the whore. The whore itself in this movie is the woman that characterized as a fool and sensuous woman, and she had to be die first because she is full of sin. And then But in the Jungian archetype, she's actually represent or embodied a certain character, which is the temptress or the seductress. The seductress itself is quite different from the platonic idea, which is the character of the temptress or the seductress more depend on her appearance rather than her knowledge. And then the fourth character is Marty Mikalski, or in this movie, he is represented as the trickster, as the fool. But in the Jungian archetype, he is embodied the character of the trickster. Trickster is someone that fool everyone in every situation. But actually, Marley itself, he is not a fool in this movie, because in the end of this, in the end of the story, he is the only one that found out, and actually, they are in one of the facility that in or that they are used by certain people to be a sacrifice to the ancient one. And also in the Jungian archetype, he is embodied the characters of the unbalanced hero. Unbalanced hero is he is actually a hero, but he pretend or has a mental or emotional deficiency. He has to fool everyone in order to save them, to save his friends. And so the last character is Holden McCrea. In this movie, he is embodied the character of the scholar. Holden McCrea itself in this movie is actually the sociology student from a famous university, and he is characterized as a smart man in this movie. But in the Jungian archetype, he is also embodied the character, which is the intellectual, that actually the intellectual itself more depend on the knowledge and their brain. And then the other types of the situational archetype that can be found in this movie is the situational archetype. The first situational archetype is the destruction. The destruction scenes come from the end of this movie, which is in the end of this movie, the hands of the ancient one rises from the below of the ground because of the ritual is failed. So he is mad, and also he rises to destroy the humankind. In the destruction in Jungian archetype is when the evil god is introduced to the world to destroy the humankind. And then the tower itself in this movie is not actually a tower in the literary meaning, but the tower itself in this movie actually is the glass elevators that contain many monsters and many weird spaces in order to destroy humankind. In order to be sacrificed to the ancient one. And then the last situational archetype is the creature of nightmare. In this movie, it's quite the same with the Jungian itself, because the creature of nightmare in the Jungian archetype is a monster, usually someone from the deepest and the darkest part of a human, psyche to threaten the lives of the hero and heroines. In this movie, actually, the creature of nightmare itself that contains in the glass elevator, which is from different situation, that they actually get them to kill a human, to be a sacrifice to the human itself. And now, thank you so much for your attention, and now welcome to the conclusion, and the next presenter will present you the presentation.
Thank you for the past presenter. Okay, I will continue the presentation. It is about conclusion, the last part of our discussion. Okay, my name is Mardiana Zen. This is our conclusion. The Cabin in the Woods is a horror movie directed by Drew Goddard in 2012. This movie tells about the 5 college students who want to have vacation in the woods. They think that they have perfect holiday until they choose one of bizarre items in cellar. They started to meet zombies that killed one by one of their friends. They finally realized that they are on the science facility that controls all of the creatures to kill them to be sacrificed to the Ancient One. The 5 characters represent certain symbols to be sacrificed. According to Carl Jung, archetypes are similar ideas, motif, the image found in many different myths, normally defined as universal symbols. For the example of archetypes are image such as water, sun, certain color of numbers, circles, the serpent, garden, tree, desert, the hero, the earth mother, the soulmate, the trickster, motifs or pattern and genres. Okay, that's all about our presentation, and that's all about our conclusion. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.